In this week's upload, I'm going to show you how to find reliable front-running selections on a daily basis, just like this one shared on screen from earlier on today. I'll also walk you through how that result was achieved step by step on screen, sharing absolutely everything in just a second, but by the end of this video, you'll be able to find these selections all for yourself in a matter of minutes. So presuming this video is useful to you at some point throughout watching, please take 2 seconds just to tap the like button down below, as it incentivizes me to carry on making useful content into the future. Also, for anyone new here, this channel's all about helping you improve your trading skills, arbitrage and match betting, so please don't forget to subscribe down the bottom there also. Okay, so first of all, why do front runners even matter? The answer is very simple, short and sweet, and that is because when a horse race takes place on the exchanges, the prices will fluctuate in line with its probable chance of winning. Meaning that if it runs like a donkey, the price is going to get bigger. If it runs like it's more likely to win the race, its price is going to get shorter. Thus, naturally, if a horse leads the race by a wide margin, then its price contracts almost instantly in running, as you'll see on screen in just a second. Now, how can you find horses that do this on a regular basis? Well, first of all, we'll put it on your screen now, but I'm looking here at Timeform. If you're not familiar with it, which most of you probably are, it's one of the biggest databases out there in terms of horse racing information. So you can see here this selection on screen, which ironically happens to be our example that will be later on in this recording, has run historically at the front of its races. I mean, really reliably. So looking at all of its previous runs there for the last 10 or so, there's only one run where this horse did not lead the race by a significant margin. You can see from descriptions. You can also see from the Betfair starting price in relation to the in-play high or low. So the last 2 runs it won the race. The third one back there, it only traded at a low of 3.2 from 3.4. So that wouldn't be the best example. Although beyond that, you can see, it started at a Betfair starting price of 4.4. Again, it won the race. The one before that, it traded at 1.67 from 3.02. It also traded at 2.5 from a price of 8.2. It traded at a low of 3 from 14.54, and it traded at a low of 10 from 29. So they're all significant drops in price, which is down to the way in which this horse likes to run its races. Now, I say the way the horse likes to because that's the important part. This is a part of the horse's characteristics, behaviour, and essentially who the horse is, what it wants to do. It likes to lead the pack. Now, in recent times, you might have noticed over on the exchange, they've caught onto this too, because they've introduced this little red Timeform tab below each selection on screen there to let you know about its running style. The downside to that being it's not that accurate. So you can see in this race also, according to the exchange, before the start, Ask Corey is supposedly a front runner too. Now, if you get into the deeper information, go back to Timeform, look at this race, look at Ask Corey's history, you'll see that although it's been quite prominent in a lot of instances, it hasn't actually been a front runner or leader. So there's less competition in this race for the one selection that we want to lead the race, looking at the others, none of which are likely to lead the race. Now, how do you know that, I hear you say? Now, if you look in the description down below this video, there's going to be several links. In fact, we'll put links to everything we talk about in this video, but there is a link to a daily shortlist page. So if you click that link, go to caanberry.com, you'll see between 10 AM and 11 AM every single day, there is a list of the day's most probable front runners. So that's based on historic data and information on how they've behaved, how they've traded in running, and where the horses are that's likely to lead their particular race. So you can check that out in a matter of seconds yourself. From there though, there is a little bit of extra work to do, as I'll explain on screen now, broken down into 5 different stages. So nice and simple. First one, check out the daily shortlist, updated between 10 and 11 AM every single day. This will give you a selection of the day's runners based on historic data that have repeatedly led their race. So the consistency is the main important factor there, because we only want to do this on reliable front running selections. The second one is take a slightly deeper dive on the horse's history, how it's behaved in the past. Check out Timeform. Again, we'll put the link to that one in the description down below too. See if its price has dropped significantly in running, because at the end of the day, that's how we're going to make money in this situation. Number 3, check other runners within the race. So as we did with Ask Corey there, if there's a potential front runner labelled by the exchange or elsewhere, then we want to check how reliable and how consistent that horse is. Be aware of that in our mind's eye before we turn up for step number 4, which is watching the horses down at the start of the race, which we'll come on to shortly in just a second. Are they on their toes? Are they keen to go? Are they in front of the rest of the field lining up? Do they look a little bit perky? And then finally, the fifth step, once the trade is open, do not be excessively greedy. Have a point in your mind where you'd like to exit the trade, actions on, if it should be going in your direction and if it should be playing out as you expect, and what is the loss that you're willing to take if this doesn't pan out as expected. So let's take a look on screen now, see how this worked out for me today with well-known frontrunner Rudy Cottrell. Repeatedly leads this race over and over again. So I'm ready at step 4, the ladder's open on screen down at the start of the race. We've done our homework, we've done our selections, and now I'm opening a position on Rudy Cottrell. So I'm looking to get £75 back position open on this horse just before the start of the race. You see the race goes suspended there and they're off. Instantly there's that short few seconds in the market where everybody's feeling their feet, seeing what's going on, and you'll see straight away Rudy Cottrell starts to get back. That's the in-running players getting involved in the marketplace. They see it's bounced out in front and it's already got a considerable lead. So I drag that over on the screen there. You can see the yellow cap. Rudy Cottrell goes over the first hurdle, nice and safe, closed out part of our position, heading towards being open for 30 seconds in play in this position. So if this hadn't have happened, I would have been looking to close out nice and quickly. The whole time I was watching the video over on my other screen. I'll drag it back onto this screen again for you now, just so it can be a little bit clearer. You can see the blue line on the Geeks Toy software there on the market overview on the left. The price is completely bombed, and that's because, look, lo and behold, on the right there, Rudy Cottrell was a good 8-10 lengths ahead of the field, 30 seconds, a minute into the race, and we've already hedged up for a few pence under £30. So it's a nice and simple back to lay, as we call it, trading a front running horse based on its running style and favourable behaviour, which, to be perfectly honest with you, was really quite predictable. I'll just show you there on the Betfair screen as well for anybody who's not familiar with the software. Usually we've hedged up. You can see we opened our back position over on the right there north of 8.0 and we laid it off at 6.10 on average. So overall, locked in £29.09. Nice and simple. If you're interested in more trades like this, then check out these in the end screen here and here.